Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today with the last book haul of the year. I mean, the last book haul video, I bought about 54 odd books. I know 54 is even, but still. I'm not blocking myself, but you didn't think I would not go and buy more books, that I would not get tempted to buy more books? Because if you thought that I would not get tempted, then you're wrong. Even I was wrong, because I thought, okay, now that we've bought so many books, we are not going to buy any more for a while. And then I proved myself wrong. And then went and bought so many books. There are more than 30 books. I don't know, I've lost count. I have the list, but books keep getting added to this list, so I can't do anything about that. I'm really sorry about it, or not. But yes, I just wanted to do this video where I talk about the books that I got since I uploaded the last book haul. And it's only been 1.5 months and I've already got about 30 plus books, as I've mentioned before. And in December so far, I've read only 10 books. So I don't know how that whole calculation works, but I don't want to bore you anymore with the teeny tiny details. So without any further ado, let's get into this video and let me share with you all the books that I got since the last time I uploaded a book haul video. So I have all the books over here and I will be putting them here as and when you know the drill. So first up are the books that I swapped with a few Bookstagram friends, and I will be taking you through those books. The first set of 3 books are from Gayatri over at Perfectionist on Bookstagram. You should definitely go check her account out. She is an amazing Bookstagrammer. She takes some amazing pictures. They're warm, they fill you with that joy when you look at her pictures. So please go check her out. I'll leave the link to her profile in the description box below. But the books that I swapped with Gayatri were, one is The Sisters Grimm by Mena van Praag. This is classified as dark fantasy and it's a story of 4 sisters who are born to different mothers on the same day, and I think that's the only thing that I know about this book. But to be really honest, that cover is like out of this world. She was anyway unhauling it and I was like, okay, good for me, bring it on. The next book that I got from her was I Owe You One by Sophie Kinsella. Do I have to explain why I got this book? It's Sophie Kinsella. That's all. The next book that I got from her was The Book of Essie by Megan McLean Weir. This has been on my wish list for 2 years, I think now. I think it released in 2018, I can't remember exactly. But ever since I saw that dreamy cover, I was like, I want to read this. And it's not like there are a lot of bad reviews as well of that book, so I wanted to like give it a try. So when I saw that Gayatri was unhauling it, I was like, the reason why I don't have physical copies to show you of these books is because I had asked Gayatri to hold off on mailing me those books for a while, because I was not here, I was at my mom's place. And I remembered only recently that I hadn't told her to mail them to me. I had said like, okay, when I go back, I will tell you and please mail it to me then. And she was kind enough to hold on to them for me. They're on their way to the new home, so it's fine, I'm patient. Next is a book that I got off of Charvi from Not Just Fiction on Instagram, and she was unhauling this book. And I already have an e-copy of this book, but I thought a hardcover, well, why not? So I bought The Book of Chocolate Saints by Jeet Thayil. See, in my defense, I read the blurb of this book when I bought the e-copy ages ago. I don't even remember when I bought it. It's just a basic blurb. I'll tell you like, so what's happening in the city, and then Newton Francis Xavier's wife is usually shouting at the neighbors, but this night he hears his mother shouting. And I do know that I have been intrigued by this book for a long time. Maybe I was really invested at the time that I bought the e-copy, and I hope that it will turn out to be a book that I will enjoy. enjoy or learn from. I don't know if it's a sad one though. The next two books are books that I bought off of Jazz Reads on Instagram, and the first one is State of Wonder by Anne Patchett. I had read Anne Patchett's Dutch House last year and I absolutely loved it. I felt that it was one of the most beautiful books to have been written and published, and I really enjoyed it. And it was something else, it was something very different. She shows familial equations and all in that, and this is also one of her books that is really famous. It's really well loved across the community, across whoever has read it obviously. And I thought, okay, I think this is a good time to get it. So it's obvious what I did. No, I went and bought this book. The second book that I bought from her was Places I Stopped on the Way Home by Meg Fee. And I don't know why I bought this book. It's a memoir of chaos and grace, it says, of the author living in New York City. And now I know, and you know why I bought this book, because New York City is one of my favorite cities in the whole world, and I love that city to bits. And I couldn't not take up this offer and buy this book. I mean, I might not enjoy it. I'm not saying that I will enjoy it. But to read about New York City in someone else's words and relive the time that I had there, however short it was, I'm going to maybe have fun and maybe dream of visiting that city again. Can COVID please go back, please? Next up are the books that were sent to me by friends as a gift, and I am so thankful, and I love you guys, you know that, and I just want to share them with you. And the first two books that I will be talking about have been sent to me by Nandini, and she has a piece of my heart, as I will always tell you. I've always said that and I will always keep saying it. She sent me two books that even now as I look at them, I choke up because of the significance that they hold. Okay, the first one that she sent to me was Johnny Panic and the Bible of Dreams by Sylvia Plath. And let me tell you why this is that important. Sylvia Plath is she is Nandini's most favorite author of all time. Her writing resonates with Nandini on a level that I've never seen an author resonate with anyone. See, if I'm comparing it, it could be what Matt Haig or Nikita Gill are to me. And Nandini, she finds solace, strength and happiness in Plath. And for her to send me a book of her favorite author, it means the world to me in ways that I cannot even express. And she also sent me a sweet little letter which I sort of cried after reading. Let's not go into those many details also. So that's the first book that she sent. The second book is Writing Badly is Easy by Amitava Kumar, and she actually said this is for your craft. As you all know, I'm a writer as well, and Nandini put in so much thought to this, and she sent me something that will help me in making my writing better, and that sort of touched somewhere. And I'm like, I reread that letter multiple times. Like, I was a mess. I was an honest mess. So these are the two books that Nandini sent to me. Thank you, Nandini. You know I love you, and we're going to have a great time next year. And guys, you need to stay tuned because we have some exciting news plans for 2021, and I am so thrilled to be actually sharing them with you. So it's coming. It is coming. Next is a book that was sent to me by Chaitra from Miss Bibliotaph, and she knows the kind of books that I will like, and she sent this over to me and I fell in love. I did not even have to read the blurb and I fell in love. And the book is Hellfire by Lisa Ghazi. This is a translation. It has been translated from the Bengali into English by Shabnam Nadia, and this is the story of sisters Lovely and Beauty, for whom home is a cage. Their mother Farida Khanum never lets them out of her hawk-eyed gaze. Lisa Ghazi's Hellfire opens with Lovely's first ever solo expedition to Gausia Market on her 40th birthday. Oh, there will be many firsts for her today, but she mustn't forget the curfew Farida Khanum has ordained. As Lovely roams the streets of Dhaka, her mother's carefully constructed world begins to unravel. The twisted but working arrangements of a fragile household begin to assume a macabre quality as the day progresses. Nice. Not nice, but you get what I mean. Like, it sounds and feels so intense, and you know, intense books are literally my thing. I love reading intense books, and I feel like this is going to be one that's going to like blow my head off. Thank you, Chaitra, for this book. You know I love you. We are going on that expedition, those expeditions that we've always been planning about. We will definitely go on those expeditions. It's about time. And you know what I'm talking about. Next up are books that were sent to me by publishers. First up are 2 books sent to me by Writers Melon. I work with them and I post book reviews over there, and they sent me 2 books. The first of which is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, and this is one of the weirdest books I've read in a long time, and I don't know what to think about it. No, I know exactly what to think about it, because this book explores a lot of themes of humans not harnessing their full potential, and it talks about how humans are so one-track minded. Did that make sense? Because the author says in this that there are so many worlds to explore, but the humans are not open to exploring it because of a number of whatever reasons. And the way the author has structured this whole book, it's rather it messes with your mind. That's all I'm going to say for now. You can watch my December 2020 wrap up if you want to know what I thought about this book, because it's going to be there. And the second book that they sent to me was Shuggy Bane by Douglas Stewart. This won the Booker Prize this year, and I heard that this is a very sad book and that it's going to break my heart or something. But I've also heard that there were better books that could have won the Booker 2020, and I thought, okay, I want to find out. I want to find out what exactly happened behind this whole thing. So yeah, they sent this to me and I will be reading it this month and I will be writing a review. Please go check them out, and a big thank you to Writers Melon for sending me these 2 books. Next are the books sent to me by publishers, and let me just take you through them. The first book was sent to me by Simon & Schuster India. I was part of the block tour for this book, and that book is Homebody by Rupi Kaur. It's a collection of interesting facts of life and what can be and what cannot be. Many of these you could call poetry, but many of these you cannot call poetry. I'm really sorry, but no. But if you put that mindset and then you go into this book, then only you will enjoy it. Just don't consider this as a poetry collection. No. I actually gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think I mentioned this in my November wrap up. Yes, this was part of my November read. Thank you, Simon & Schuster India, for sending this book to me and for having me on the block tour. It was a fun time. I read this in just a few hours. Next is a book sent to me by Pan Macmillan India, and I'm so excited to read this book. And that book is Jeffrey Archer's Hidden in Plain Sight, the second in the William Warwick series. And the first in the series, Nothing Ventured, came out last year, which I read, and I don't know if I talked about it on my channel because I was in Melbourne at the time. And yes, I've been meaning to pick this up for a while now, but it's just sitting there on my cart because I don't know. I don't know why, okay? Please, I don't know why. But you know that Jeffrey Archer is one of my favorite authors of all time, and once I start reading this book, I'm not going to be able to put it down, and I will just like fly through it. I'm going to finish it in a day or so. So I'm planning a 24 or 48 hour readathon for the coming weekend, which is around Christmas time, and I'm hoping that people will join in, and I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done during those 2 days. 1 or 2 days, I don't know, because I haven't had the time to think about it. But yes, I will pick this up during that time because it's going to be fun. But thank you Pan Macmillan India for sending this to me, Jeffrey Archer, and you have my heart. Next is a book I got from Rupa Publications, and that is The Fixer by Suman Dubey, and this is about the goings on in cricket. It's about Neil Upadhyay, who could never imagine getting involved in match fixing. So there's this whole match fixing scandal kind of thing that's going on in this book, and it's about how many, 300, 280, 285 pages long. And I know that somehow this is going to be a book that that will be easy to read, and that is something that I always look for. So thank you, Rupa, for sending this over to me. I will be reading and be putting up a review as soon as I can. Next is a book that was sent to me by Bloomsbury India, and that is Khagi in Dust Storm by Amod K. Kant. This is the first in the Police Diaries series. This is Amod K. Kant's own experiences and about how things were in the 80s and the 90s. He talks about the assassinations of Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, and the murders that took place, the terrorism that happened back then, and how he held it all. Amod K. Kant is a decorated IPS officer, and to read all of those during the 80s and the 90s in his words is going to be a hard-hitting one, because we've never heard of things from the perspective that Amod K. Kant he offers to us in this book. I will start reading this today on the day of filming, and I'm hoping that I will be able to get through a major chunk of this book today if I just sit down and get through. Very, very intrigued to read this book. So the next book was sent to me by the author in exchange for an honest review, and that book is A Pleasant Escape by Piyush Rohankar. I finished reading this book and I've also uploaded the review. If you'd like to go check that out, I'll leave the link here as well as in the description box below. This was a fun read. It also talks about the struggles of Indian students and the pressure they are in, the struggles of UPSC aspirants and how they work so hard to get where they want to be. And I would recommend this book. Please do go check my review out if you want to know the full plethora of the emotions that I went through as I read this book. So all the books that come from here on are books that I have bought on my own, and let's just get on with it. The first book I will talk about is Punching the Air by Ibi Zoboi and Yusuf Salam, and this is a novel in verse, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is a novel in verse, and I've heard only great things about it. Jason Reynolds, who I'm a really huge fan of after listening to Stamped, his narration of Stamped, Racism, Anti-Racism and You, he says that this is nothing short of a masterwork of humanity, and I will take his word for it. I don't need anything else. This is the story of Amal Shahid, who has always been an artist and a poet, but even in his diverse art school, because of a biased system, he's seen as disruptive and unmotivated. Then one fateful night, an altercation in a gentrifying neighborhood escalates into tragedy. Boys just being boys turns out to be true only when those boys are white. Suddenly, at just 16 years old, Amal is convicted of a crime he didn't commit and sent to prison. Despair and rage, oh my god, such people. Why? Despair and rage almost sink him until he turns to the refuge of his words, his art. This never should have been his story. But can he change it? Oh, this is going to be, man, I really want... This is going to be heavy, that's all I'm going to say. Next is Why Men Rape, an Indian undercover investigation by Tara Kaushal, and I don't think I need to tell you why I bought this book. Tara Kaushal is a journalist who sets out to understand the reasons through a detailed investigation which includes interviews and meetings with 9 men who have an inclination to commit acts of sexual violence. The men interviewed for the book belong to all sections of society. A doctor who raped his 12-year-old patient, an unemployed man who has decided to kill his former lover, a youth who gang raped, a serial gang rapist who doesn't believe that rape exists. What the Alongside, the author gives insights from myriad survivors, world-famous experts, a jail inmate who provides us with commentary on the worldview of rape convicts inside a prison. I mean, I'm fumbling my words because I'm getting so... I can't talk anymore about it. I mean, if I am being this angry, imagine what the people who actually undergo all that must feel. I mean... Next is The Women Who Forgot to Invent Facebook and Other Stories by Nisha Susan. And look at this cover first of all. It is stunning. stunning to say the least. I mean, look at the title also, The Women Who Forgot to Invent Facebook. Like, the world is always saying that take initiative. You should take initiative. Just because you are not taking initiative and you are not talented enough, then you are not coming up. First of all, patriarchy makes sure that women aren't given the same opportunities as men are. Don't tell me they are, because they are not in a lot of ways. So that's all I'm going to say for now. But this sounds like a powerful book. This is a collection of short stories, if I haven't told you already. Okay, the stories in this dazzling debut. This is the debut collection. My God. Okay. Tap into the rich vein of love, violence and intimacy that technology, particularly the internet, has brought to the lives of Indians over the last 2 decades. Nice. I am super intrigued to read this book, but I'm holding off on it because this is short stories and I'm waiting for something, which I will tell you soon. Next up is Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella. And do I have to say why I bought this book? It's Sophie Kinsella's latest book and it's Sophie Kinsella and I bought it. I don't even know and I don't even need to know what the book is about because it's Sophie Kinsella. I'm repeating myself, but it's what it is. And I am going to read this in the readathon that I said I'd be hosting this weekend. And I need to hammer out the details, but we're going to get there soon. Next up is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. This is a book that I will be buddy reading with Nandini at the beginning of next year. We will start it right off the bat, and this has about 1200-1300 pages, and we counted. It's going to take 2.5 months almost to finish reading this if we are reading about 20-30 pages every day. Or at the pace that we are going and at the discussion schedule that we will be having. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Yes, it is. It is going to be fun. And I'm having, not fun holding this up. It's so huge. I don't even want to talk about what that book is about because next are 3 ebooks that I bought on a whim. And those are, the first one is Conversations with Coherent Worlds by Anusha Sridharan. And then there is The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. I've heard that it's a very short book and that it's really good. So I thought, okay, why not? And then there is Diary of a Prison Officer by Josie Channer. And this is something that I've heard very good things about, that it's one of the most heartbreaking, not technically heartbreaking, but it is one of the most touching books that one of my Bookstagram friends read in 2020, and I thought, okay, it was not that expensive, so I went and bought it. So these are the 3 Kindle ebooks that I bought, and then there are some other books for some other reasons that I bought. The first one is 50 World's Greatest Short Stories, and this is a fingerprint collection edition. Wait, let me show it to you. It looks wonderful, and I don't think I have to tell you what this book is about. It has some amazing short stories with Alexander Pushkin, Anton Chekhov, Dickens, Poe, Fitzgerald, Dostoevsky, Maupassant, H.G. Wells, Saki, James Joyce, Kate Chopin, Tolstoy, Twain, O. Henry, Oscar Wilde, Tagore, Kipling, Arthur Conan Doyle, and Mom. A lot of amazing stuff in there. And then there is bedtime stories. These are the Everyman's Pocket Classics, and these have been edited by Diana Secker-Tesdell, and these are just bedtime stories. And I love this edition. Look at how cute it is. I mean, it's only this much. It's literally a pocket classic, and I love it. I love the color beneath the jacket as well. What else do I say? What else do I say? I have things coming, that's all. Next is The Periodic Table of Feminism by Marissa Bate, and this is, I think, a listing of all the people on this cover. Look at who all are there. I don't know if you can see, but yes, this has been on my wish list for a long time, and I thought, okay, fine, I need this in my life right now for some reason. I don't know why I need it in my life at this point in time, but I went and bought it. But it's now on my TBR, so I can just pick it up anytime I want. Next up is Homegoing by Ya Gyasi. I already have an ebook of this book, but when this went on sale, I was like, I need this book in my life. And I've heard that this is an amazing, amazing book. Effia and Essie, two sisters with two very different destinies. One sold into slavery, one a slave trader's wife. Oh, shit. The consequences of their fate reverberate throughout the generations that follow, from the Gold Coast of Africa to the plantations of Mississippi, from the missionary schools of Ghana to the dive bars of Harlem. Spanning continents and generations, Ya Gyasi has written a miraculous novel, an intense, heartbreaking story of one family, and through their lives, a story of America itself. This sounds super intense, and is this historical fiction as well? Can this be, what do you call it, classified as that? I'm not sure, but yeah. I'm really excited to read this one. Maybe I'll put it on the 21 books I want to read in 2021 list. Who knows? Next is Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. This is a book about some instructions on writing and life, and I've had this for a long time, and I really want to get to reading this before I can actually start working on my second novel afresh, because I'm going to revamp that whole thing, and I want to read this as well as Writing Badly is Easy by Amitabh Kumar, which Nandini sent to me, and I want to read this too before I start reading them, but I don't know how far along I will get with those. And I also want to read some other books, but that's beside the point. But yes, this is a book that I really want to read, and I've heard really good things about how helpful it is for writers. Next up is the third book in a highly anticipated trilogy that I've been holding off on, and that is The Burning God, the third in the Poppy War trilogy, and I'm really excited to read it now. I'm going to start reading it in maybe January, February, and super intrigued, man. This is huge though. This is a chunker, 600 pages. But my only irritation was that this book is not the same size as those two. Those two are only this big, and this is like this huge. Why? Make them the same size. Next are two books that I pre-ordered, but they are yet to make their way home, and the first one is The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. I loved the binding. It was my favorite book of one of my favorite books of 2019, and I thought she's coming up with a new book, the cover of which is equally beautiful as the binding, and I thought, okay, I need it in my life, and I pre-ordered it, and it will be coming home I think late December or early January. I'm not really sure, but okay, I'm waiting. I'm patient. The next pre-order is the fourth in the Ember Quartet, and that is A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir, and I'm just waiting. It's the fourth book. I don't want to talk anything about it. Even if it weren't the fourth book, I couldn't, because I can't for the life of me remember things and remember blurbs. But yes, that will also make its way home after 25th, because that's when it releases in India. And I thought of making a vlog, the Ember Quartet vlog, in December itself, but it will now go to January because I want to have all the books before I start doing the vlog. I'd originally thought that this book was releasing on 10th December, and I thought, okay, it's going to come home, so I'm going to just start doing a vlog or something, but it did not. So I'm like, okay, it's fine, I will do it when it comes home. Next up is another book that I have the e-copy of, but I went and bought it because I'm just like that, and that book is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read Daisy Jones and the Six last year, and I absolutely loved it. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid's way of writing. Her style is amazing. So I went and bought this book, and I've heard really good things about this book, and I've seen so many diehard fans of this book, so I'm like, I'm in safe hands, hopefully, because one, I'm familiar with the author, and two, nothing but good things. I think she talks a lot about yesteryear's celebrities and their lives, because Daisy Jones and the Six is about a fictional band from the 70s, I think, and this is the story of reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo, who is ready to tell her story. So I'm really intrigued for this one as well. Plus, I also wanted to talk to you about a few audiobooks that I bought on Audible, because I'm like that. The first one is obviously The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I bought the audiobook because I've heard that the narration is amazing. Carrie Mulligan has done it, and apparently she's done a fantastic job. I mean, I don't have to have a reason to buy The Midnight Library. Even if it had been narrated by anybody else, I would have bought it because it's The Midnight Library, and I love that book with everything I have. It's like burrowed deep in my soul. And then I also bought A Promised Land by Barack Obama, and it's like 30 hours or something long, and I'm going to take my time. I think I'll take the whole of next year to read that book. I don't know what's going to happen. But yes, I bought those 2 books as well, and I just wanted to share them with you. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, that's technically not about it because it's a lot, but I just wanted to share these books with you. Which of these have you read? Which ones do you want to read? Which ones have you read and liked? Which ones have you read and not liked? Which intrigue you? What books did you buy in November and December 2020? Which books are you rounding off the year with? Which was your favorite book of 2020? Which was your most disappointing book of 2020? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.